Compression sleeves have been around for quite a bit of time, and their sole purpose was to support your muscles by providing slight pressure and compression to promote optimal blood flow to the area the sleeve surrounds. Eventually, this also slowly creeped into the esports scene, where some companies wanted to create some quote-unquote performance-enhancing gear. More so, they aimed to make glasses with blue light filters to reduce the eye strain and retain good focal health, gloves to prevent or kind of just control the sweat output on your hands, and slipper-like esports sneakers to achieve who knows bloody what. And last but not least, a sleeve for the reduction of muscle cramping, and I'd assume for better blood flow and reduction of carpal tunnel. So, of course, some of these products did eventually make it into the mainstream, but some more so than others. Out of all those, the compression sleeve has become a widely popular accessory in esports, and not necessarily for the original intended use. Now, as the last few years have gone by, we have all the more mousepads that have been released. Tons and tons of different cloth with different surface textures and different materials, alongside the uproar in hard pads like glass. And as we all know, pads can cause quite a bit of friction on your wrists and forearms, leading to inconsistent swipes and also abrasiveness that will cause irritations and inflammation. Eventually, I reckon someone just decided to wear a sleeve to see what it does, and bada bing bada boom, the sleeve created an experience reducing quite a bit of friction and prevented the abrasiveness to get through, and thus leading into an all-round better and more pleasant experience. Now, fast forward some time and every other damn company is making their own sleeve. I can definitely say we have some amazing ones available now. But for now, we'll only be taking a look at Pulsar's ES arm sleeve series. But of course, to break it down, nylon is comfortable and very stretchy, while spandex is made in a way where it's kind of just unaffected by sweat or any body oils, so it just holds onto the skin without slipping. We do only have two different sizes though, the medium and the large, which is definitely not a train smash. They sound big but really just aren't, just to make some space for the elasticity in the fabric to comfortably hug your arm whilst giving a bit more compression in that area. I opted for the large as I've had a past issue with the medium focus sleeve compressing just way too much. Lastly, we do have quite the variety. 7 versions of the ES arm sleeves to be exact. It's actually absurd, but honestly it just gives so much freedom for everyone to just try and find something that just fits them to a T. I did end up receiving 5 of the 7 different sleeves in the lineup. So let's just take a look at each. First off, we have the basic one, which resembles a standard compression sleeve the most, and it goes by the arm long. It does have quite a bit of pinch where the elastic starts, but just snugs around my bicep all the way down. Yet the wrist is a fair bit loose, so if your mousepad creates a bit more friction, it will start to twist around your wrist. On top of that, my natural grip kind of just slants, so it does have a tendency to just drag on the pad. Second, we do have a smaller version that is only focused on the length of the forearm alone, and that goes by the arm short, which I unfortunately do not have. Third is going to be a standard compression sleeve, but it stretches over the length of the wrist and also hugs your palm by sticking your thumb through an individual cutout, and all 4 other fingers go through one collective hole, so not just to resemble a glove. And it goes by palm long. Now, this one acts the exact same as the arm long, but it does have a bit more coverage on the hand while still being thin and elastic enough to not contort your fingers. And also it doesn't make you feel like you can't fully lock in a mouse into your hand. And also it doesn't twist around the wrist the same way the arm long does. Fourth is a smaller version of the palm long that's called the palm short. So it acts the exact same way as the arm long, but instead of the elastic going up all the way to the bicep, it just goes into the fold of the elbow, which is super comfortable and doesn't have that pinchy feel the long sleeves have. Fifth is going to be the glove. It has an individual cutout for the thumb, and one for the pinky where it has a bit of excess to hug up the pinky more, and then the main cutout for all 3 other fingers. It sits really nice and snug around my hands, and also has a little sleeve for the pinky when it drags on the surface. But now it goes back to the main issue I had with the arm sleeves, where it just sits too loose around the wrists. Sixth is going to be a glove with the arm hybrid. So we have the length of the arm version, but with the glove at the end, called the finger long, which I do not have either. But 7th is going to be a smaller version of that one, where it is an arm short with the glove at the end. And I bet you can't guess what it's called. The finger short. Now, this one in my opinion is the best out of the whole lineup. It just checked all my boxes. It doesn't pinch my bicep as it sits in the fold of my elbow. It doesn't wrinkle and twist around my wrist where there's friction on the surface. It prevents my pinky from dragging on the surface with my specific grip style. And lastly, the material is nice and stretchy with a great amount of breathability. Now, I had quite a bit of time to sit and work with each of these sleeves, and they're all respectively insane for each's intended purpose. I say that as I do have my preference, and most of them just do not suit me and my specific way of holding mice or just designing on the iPad. Oh, and fun fact, it works fantastic on the drawing tablet. Saying that, I did end up maining the finger short sleeve. I have my whole arm and wrist touching quite a bit on my pads, so out of personal comfort and my use of high sense, especially in this day and age where a ton of folks are just now flooding into the glass mousepad scene. Heaps of these pads do cause a fair bit of cling and friction, which can lead to a lot of annoyance and discomfort, but even so, the same can be said for the cloth pad users. Overall, I do feel that Pulsar has just been pumping out absolute gas, and I do nudge people to at least give sleeves a try. It does look a bit dorky, I'm not going to lie, but regardless, I'd rather look a bit dorky and be comfortable, plus also just frag my absolute brains out. Thank you very much for watching, that's all for today guys. Take care and peace.